Buenos dias from San Gervasi. This is the Rorschach Spain update from the 3rd of October, 2024. Quick summary of what's going down in Spain. Thursday the 26th, two of Spain's largest trade unions, the General Unions of Workers, UGT, and the Workers' Commissions, CTO, led protests in Spain. The unions demanded a reduction in the work week from 40 hours to 37 and a half. Unai Sordo, the leader of the CCOO union, argued that the technological advances enable shorter hours without sacrificing pay or productivity. President Pedro Sanchez's government is pushing for the change, offering incentives like hiring bonuses for smaller businesses to ease the transition. While employers have expressed concerns over increased costs, the government is prepared to implement the reduction by the end of 2024. Speaking of strikes, on Friday the 27th, Spain saw widespread protests in solidarity with Palestine. In Catalonia, activists blocked access to Barcelona University's Raval campus as part of a nationwide movement backed by hundreds of organizations, including unions and human rights groups. The strike aimed to pressure the Spanish government to cease diplomatic, military, and commercial ties with Israel, accusing it of complicity in war crimes against the Palestinian population. Tens of thousands participated in marches across Spain, chanting slogans supporting Palestinian freedom. This historic strike follows Spain's recent recognition of Palestine and its criticism of Israeli actions, although activists argue that the government actions remain insufficient. Next up, diplomatic dispute between Spain and Mexico has sparked this week after Claudia Sheinbaum, Mexico's president-elect, refused to invite King Felipe to her inauguration, citing his failure to apologize for colonial-era abuses against indigenous Mexicans. The row began in 2019 when Andrés Manuel López Obrador, former Mexican president, demanded apologies from Spain and the Vatican for atrocities committed during the conquest 500 years ago. Spain rejected the call, insisting that historical events cannot be judged by modern standards. Kind of. Sanchez criticized Sheinbaum's decision as politically motivated, deteriorating relations between the two nations, which he described as brother countries. To know more about the current Spain-Mexico colonialism row, follow the links in the show notes. In economic updates, after almost 2 years of reductions in frozen VAT rates to help with the cost of living prices, the government will raise VAT on olive oil and basic food items from 0 to 2%, affecting products like bread, milk, and eggs. VAT on seed oils and pasta will increase from 5 to 7.5%. These rates will remain until the 31st of December, after which the VAT rate will rise to 4% for essential foods and 10% for pasta and seed oils. Despite these increases, inflation for food has slowed down, with consumer prices up only 1.5% in September, the lowest in 3 years. This week, tourism industry leaders in Girona, Catalonia, gathered to mark World Tourism Day on Friday the 27th, reflecting on the summer season, addressing concerns about growing anti-tourism sentiments across Spain. Antoni Izquierdo, president of Girona's Hospitality and Tourism Federation, highlighted the sector's recovery post-pandemic, but warned of the challenges, including a 15% drop in Catalan and Spanish tourists due to international competition. Izquierdo emphasized the need for fair regulation across the industry, criticized housing issues linked to unchecked tourism growth. Xavier Guitart, a government representative, condemned anti-tourism protests, calling them shameful. Some transport updates. Talgo, the Spanish manufacturer of inner-city standard and high-speed passenger trains, is building the world's first high-speed hydrogen-powered train, making a major milestone in sustainable rail transport. The project aimed to shift from traditional electric trains using overhead wires to hydrogen fuel cells, offering an eco-friendly alternative with lower capital and maintenance costs. Hydrogen-powered trains have been in development for a couple of decades, but this marks the first time that such technology has been applied to high-speed trains. Talgo's breakthrough could make hydrogen trains more viable for countries with lower population density like the US and Canada by eliminating the need for costly electrification. Continuing with innovation, sports retailer Decathlon and AMBE, Spain's bicycle trade association, have partnered to promote cycling for transport, leisure, tourism, and sport. Collaboration aims to develop shared strategies that encourage bicycle use and boost market growth. Spain bicycle industry, which faced supply-demand issues in 2023, is now focusing on urban mobility, with e-bike sales expected to surpass conventional bicycles by 2013. Partnership also supports the European Commission's Sustainable Mobility Plan, which includes initiatives like bicycle rentals, secondhand sales, and electric bike leasing. New research has revealed that giant pandas originated in Spain, with 11 million-year-old fossils of the Agriactos beatrix species discovered in sites in Barcelona and Zaragoza. Additional fossils of another extinct panda species, Cretaceoarchos beatrix, were also found in Germany, indicating the panda ancestors lived in both countries. Unlike modern pandas, these early ancestors were smaller and omnivorous, similar to brown bears. The last European panda lived in Spain around 6 million years ago, as suggested by fossils found in Teruel. On to ingenious engineering practices. A mother-daughter team has used bacteria to restore a damaged 18th century painting at Valencia's Santos Juanes Church. Pilar Roig, a restorer, struggled with a botched 1960s restoration that left a stubborn layer of animal collagen glue on the artwork. Her daughter, microbiologist Pilar Bosch, found a research paper detailing the use of bacteria in art restoration. Together, they applied a bacteria-infused algae gel that effectively broke down the glue without damaging the paintings. This innovative technique, part of a €4 million initiative, proved superior to traditional restoration methods. Bosch's methods are now being applied across Europe, with plans to use it for graffiti removal. Hope the bacteria wielders don't confuse graffiti with public art, as is so often the case on the streets of Barcelona, at least. Moving to weather safety, the iconic Bilbao street tile, once widely used in the city streets, is being replaced because of increased pedestrian slippage, especially in rainy weather. The tile, designed in the mid-20th century to drain water efficiently, has been phased out in key areas like Gran Via and near the Guggenheim Museum, where stone or granite slabs are now preferred for aesthetic and technical reasons. The Bilbao City Council cites design choices and durability as reasons for change, despite the hydraulic tile being cheaper and popular for its water drainage. Public concerns echo past issues with the Zubizuri Bridge, which faced similar safety problems. Speaking of cultural heritage, the newly opened Ilgaz Yildiz Art Gallery in Madrid aims to bridge the cultural gap between Turkey and Spain, focusing on contemporary Turkish art. Inaugurated in early September, the gallery is the first in Spain to showcase Turkish artists. The debut exhibition, titled When the Doors Opened, features 9 Turkish artists, all exhibiting in Spain for the first time. Founder Ilgaz Yildiz emphasized her interest in artists inspired by Anatolia, the ancient name for Turkey, and ancient techniques, aiming to highlight both modern and traditional forms of art. Since opening on the 11th of September, the exhibition has received positive reactions from the Spanish public, particularly for its diverse techniques in textiles and weaving. In sports news, Formula E, the electric car variation of the Formula Series Motorsport, will host an all-female test to promote diversity and equality in motorsport. 22 female drivers will participate at the Ricardo Tormo circuit in Valencia, driving the new Gen 3 Evo cars for the upcoming season. Formula E aims to offer elite female drivers who may lack opportunities in other motorsport categories perform to showcase their talent. Jeff Dodds, Formula E CEO, emphasized the need for equal opportunities to foster women's development in the sport. And finally, if you thought the festivals were over, you'd be wrong. Between the 4th and 12th of October, the Fiestas de San Froilán will go ahead, attracting hundreds of thousands of visitors from Spain and beyond in Galicia. Originating in 1754, the celebration includes 2 key dates: the 5th of October, honoring the patron saint of San Froilán with religious events, and O Domingo das Mozas on Sunday the 8th, which celebrates Galician traditions, dress, and folklore. Festivity features parades, street performances, and markets. Children enjoy special events like San Froilán, including games, puppet shows, followed by big fireworks. And that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Before we sign off, Rorschach HQ's subscription monitoring department has learned that one of you has not yet subscribed to this show. FYI, we'll talk of putting this individual on podcast probation. Just a heads up. Hasta la próxima.